Alright, welcome. My name's Calvin Valentine, the creator of what? Live to make history. Or should I say, live to make history. Alright, let's get serious. Let's get serious and talk about lockdown. Lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. Everyone is going through this pandemic. We're all going through this journey together. This whole coronavirus situation has shocked, I would say, shaken the world. We as a nation, as a human being, as one, we're all going through this pandemic together. Everyone is suffering from it some way or the other. It might not have impacted you as much. You may not have had the coronavirus itself, but it's still technically and has still negatively impacted everyone's lives as a society. So the bigger question, are you suffering from coronavirus? Do you know someone that's suffering from coronavirus? Even worse, have gyms shut yet again in your area? So here in England, we are going through, or should I say, we are in another lockdown. So this is lockdown 2. So same thing as before. The only difference is schools are kept open and all of the necessities that are needed are still kept open. So everything else, including gyms, are shut. We have been given a 4-week lockdown. They say it's 4 weeks. Yeah, Boris Johnson, let's be honest. You really think it's going to be 4 weeks? They say it's going to be 4 weeks, but they might extend it for another month, another 2 months. They're even talking about it dragging on until spring. So we don't really know the possibilities. Anything out there is possible. They say a 4-week lockdown, it could be 3 months. So, come on, we have Boris Johnson. We have Boris Johnson as our leader. So let's be honest, 4 weeks is not going to realistically be 4 weeks. So this video specifically is going to be talking about lockdown chronicles and fixing your problems, preserving gains, and how to, elevate it. Or can you really preserve gains? Would you really lose all your gains? Wait, stop! What if I told you you can still preserve and keep your gains? Stop the negative. There is a way. There is a light. You can preserve and keep your gains. Let's go. You wanna know how? Let's go. Stay tuned and this video will reveal everything. You ready? Hit it. First things first, as you can tell, the sun is gone. We live in England. This is England here. This is Britain. It's sunny before, and the sun just disappears. It's now cloudy, so it's giving a different perspective of the video. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's get back to basics. All right, so let's just use this 4-week tool as a base. So we are locked down. I don't know how it is anywhere else around the world, but I know in England we are locked down for 4 weeks, and it started 2 days ago. So we are literally 2 days into lockdown. Down. Okay, so will your gains be lost forever? Like I get a lot of young people asking me, will I lose my gains forever? How am I going to preserve my gains? Send me like maybe a kind of workout program or this to keep my gains. What if I told you that you would lose your gains forever? What if I told you the moment you stop training in the gym, you're gonna lose all your gains? What if I told you it's all a waste of time? This whole lockdown thing is to kill us, all our gains. So there is no more gyms, people. We're all gone forever. What if I told you this was all some kind of, Freemason thing? What if there is no gains? What if you're not really here? Jokes apart, can you realistically keep your gains? Let's just use this 4-week base as something so we can use it, because this is what they say 4 weeks, but realistically, let's be honest, it's not really going to be 4 weeks. Well, let's just see how it plays out. So you have 4 weeks, right? Your last training day was 2 days ago, because we're 2 days into lockdown. Can you preserve or keep your gains during lockdown? What is the answer to that? Of course you can. It's all about being smart, using your mindset, a way you can still elevate your gains. So realistically, yes, you are able to preserve your gains. using your mindset, being smart about it, and of course being tactical about it. So it's obviously a mix of your nutrition, it's a mix of your training, it's also a mix with your training experience as well, your muscle memory. It's a whole load of factors that contribute to your overall fitness, how you contribute during this whole lockdown situation. Wait, can we just pause this quickly? Can you not see the sun's coming through now? The sun is literally coming through. Oh, Britain, how much we have a love and hate relationship. Every day it's sunny, then it's not sunny. Okay, let's get back to basics. Alright, so it's a whole load of factors that contribute to your overall fitness. Everyone's different. So what works for me may not work for you. What works for you, vice versa, may not also work for me. It's a whole different factors. Also your genetics may also play a role as well. But realistically, using that base that we're just talking about, as I've said before, you're able to preserve your gains when utilized and done it smartly. So there's a difference actually. There's a difference between when do you actually start to technically lose muscle and when do you actually start to notice yourself losing muscle, right? So for those of you that don't know out there, it takes roughly exactly 12 days for you to start losing muscle. Let me say that again. It takes 12 days for you to start losing some kind of muscle. But this can vary because, like I said, from person to person. And that 12 days is when you start losing muscle. So roughly about 2 weeks. So let's just say I didn't train from 2 days ago to 2 weeks. My muscle mass wouldn't really change, and I know my body anyway, my muscle mass wouldn't really drastically change as much, but it takes about 14 days of inactivity for you to technically start losing muscle. And bear in mind, you need to make sure that you're eating right, you need to make sure that you're still fueling yourself. So where a lot of people technically go wrong is they think, okay, it's lockdown, I'm just gonna just relax on my bed, I'm just gonna do the bare minimum, I'm not gonna exercise. I'm not even exercise, I'm not even gonna fuel as well. Once you stop realistically fueling yourself, once you stop that system going into yourself, then you're going to realistically lose gains quicker. It's the same thing, it's the same principle that if you're realistically training. If you're realistically training and you're not fueling yourself, what's going to happen? You're going to realistically lose muscle, right? So realistically, the first things that you all should be doing, anyone that's in England that's watching this, or anyone that's in lockdown again that's watching this, like, well, listen, we're going to be prepared. We are prepared this time. Keep your nutrition the same. Don't drastically change anything yet. Keep getting the protein when it needs to be in. Keep getting the carbohydrates when it needs to be in. Keep getting your vitamins, your minerals, your healthy fats. Keep getting these things in. Don't change anything yet. Your body, the physical form, doesn't know what lockdown is. It doesn't know what lockdown is. It doesn't know in lockdown this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. You want to try and keep things on a homeostasis level. Keep things on a normal level so you can continue to keep elevating. So as I said before, we're in lockdown. Forget the training for now. Let's put that to the side. Let's just focus on getting your fueling in, right? Keep everything the same. So nutrition, eating your meals. If you're eating 4 meals a day, continue to eat your 4 meals a day. Because remember, a time after training, even after you train, your body still needs to break down the fuel that you just done during training. It can take a few days for you even to heal. So you cutting things out drastically is not realistically going to get you where you need to be. So remember, our last session was 2 days ago, and for example, I did a heavy leg session. Which I'm going to post out very soon. And technically the muscle fibers are still broken down. It takes a few days for it to recover. So me consuming carbohydrates right now will be still very important for me to still elevate my fitness. And I'll probably still be developing new, little bits of enhances of new muscle growth, because from that session on Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Yes, that session out on Wednesday, I'll be still developing that, just a little tweak in new muscle that I'll be developing there. That's why I'm still getting my fuel in. I'm still going to be growing, right? So here is where you want to get a bit smarter now. So as I said, we have a 4-week base, right? Let's just use that 4-week base as an example, right? So let's just say you're eating consistently for those 2 weeks, right? You're eating consistently, you're fueling yourself normally. Let's just say you haven't trained. Use this as an example. Let's just say you haven't trained. So 2 weeks has gone, 12 days into it, you slowly start to lose muscle. It's called detraining. So now let's just say we have about 2 weeks left. So you're 2 weeks into your lockdown. Now we have 2 weeks left, right? So This is where you want to be a bit smarter now. So let's just say, I'm just going to put this as a base. Let's just say you want to do the bare minimum. I want to do the bare minimum. Like, let's just say you don't want to train as much. You just want to do the bare minimum. So if you want to maintain, depending on your goals, if it's building muscle, if it's toning up, if it's cardiovascular endurance, which we're going to get to that very soon, whatever your goals are, even if it's just to look hot and sexy, or whatever your goals are, realistically, you need to, if you want to maintain, you want to be specific to that. So let's just say I'm trying to maintain my physique right now, right? And I wanted to do the bare minimum. The bare minimum. Studies do show, this is something that I studied during my research project when I was in university. Studies show realistically that you want to be working that muscle parts, if it's the chest, if it's the shoulders, if it's the full body, whatever your goals are, you want to be working that muscle part to a degree where you're adding some kind of tension, or you're adding some kind of positive impact on that muscle, or whatever you're trying to work on, for it to substantially understand that, okay, I'm still using it, right? As you all know, with the body and the mind itself, especially with the body, if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So with gains, you want to still physically tell your body, I'm still using these biceps, I'm still using these chest, I'm still using these abs, I'm still using back, whatever, right? Let's get this gains again. You want to realistically tell your body that I'm still using these muscles. Your body is very good at adapting. One thing that's very incredible about the human body is we adapt to things. We are nature of adaptation. So we adapt to anything. You're not squatting anymore, your legs are gonna shrink, you're gonna get smaller, because the body likes to continue to adapt to things. So you need to tell yourself realistically, tell your body that, okay, I'm still using you, so keep and preserve my gains. And for you to realistically do that, let's just give building muscle example, right? So 12 days in, I haven't trained chest at all, so I'm going to start to lose bits of muscle tissue, right? I'm going to start losing those muscle fibers. So I need to realistically, even if I'm not able to do heavy weights, I need to be doing something to these chest, something to them that's going to say, okay, wait, he still uses me, so I'm going to keep or try and preserve these muscle fibers. So, like with me, realistically, what I've done during the previous lockdown, while I was able to still stay in shape, is I was able to add enough tension onto the chest for it to continue to stay where it is, and maybe preserve or grow slightly more muscle slowly. Maybe it still elevates itself slowly, but I'm still preserving that muscle mass. Yes, you have to work a bit harder, but listen, if the journey was easy, why are you here? Why are you here if the journey is that easy? It's meant to be hard. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. You have a goal, channel that vision and use it towards yourself, right? It doesn't matter if it's your biceps, your legs, you have to be working that muscle part realistically. Even if you want to be the bare minimum, do it at least once a week, right? With some kind of tension or resistance, so the body realistically knows, okay, he's using me, so I'm gonna stay here. The moment you should stop, you're going to lose that muscle. So let me say that again. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it, right? So doing the bare minimum sometimes you don't need a squat rack. Sometimes you don't need the most fancy equipment. It's just about using your mindset. So let me give you an example. Time under tension, something I always say all the time. Let's just say I'm doing normal press-ups, right? So press-ups, a lot of people like to do fast reps. Press-ups is technically, a lot of people do, because they do fast reps, it's going to be working muscular endurance. And if that's your goal, then fine. If you're looking to build muscle and try and keep that mass, try and keep that physique, you want to change up the press-ups. You want to slow it down. So you be coming up really slowly, squeezing at the top, holding that squeeze for 1, 2, even 3 seconds, and you coming down. So coming down really slowly, all the way down on that eccentric phase, so the lengthening of the muscle. You want to come all the way down, and the same thing when you're contracting, it's going to that concentric contraction. You want to squeeze like again slowly, or you can even do 1 second up, speed all the way down. You're coming so fast up, you're squeezing all the way down. Did you notice that? Look at that. A man that lifts has hands like these, by the way. I got very soft hands, but this is what happens when you lift. It's very random. A man that lifts has hands like this, and you should be proud of it. Own it. Stop wearing your gym gloves. Guys, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So like I was saying before, realistically, it's all about adding tension to the muscle. So let's just take it back to the gym. But in the gym, you're going into the gym to try and stress, to try and damage the muscle fibers, so what, it grows back bigger, better and stronger. or more defined, right? You're not going to the gym to go, you're not going to skip in the park. You're going to make it happen, right? So your aim, if you're going to the gym, I'm giving muscle mass example, or even toning up, you're going to damage the muscle fibers in a positive way, as I've said before, where it builds and it grows bigger, better, stronger, right? So it's the same thing at home. If you're working out at home, if you're working out wherever you're working out, whatever space you have, make sure you add some kind of tension. You don't need the biggest space. You don't need the best equipment. You just need, think to yourself, for example, I'm going to add some tension, or even less breaks. I'm going to add less breaks so the muscle continues to fatigue. You're aiming to fatigue it. So with me, what did I used to do? I used to do a mix of tension, I used to do less breaks, and I used to do holds, a lot of static holds, like really squeeze them. So the muscle knows, okay, he's still using me. Oh my god, yes. That is realistically how I was most likely to preserve my gains over the 5 months that I was off training. And there's no secret potion. Everyone's thinking, how do you do it? There's no secret potion. It's literally utilizing what you have, utilizing your surroundings, and just making it happen. Remember, opportunity will come to you if you're ready for it. Opportunity comes when you are ready for it. When you're ready for it, like for example this whole coronavirus thing, you want to be prepared. It comes, you attack it. You attack it. You attack it in a way that you own the situation. Yes, everyone's going through this pandemic. We're all going through this together. But we can come out higher, stronger, more knowledgeable, and even a better physique if you utilize what you have wisely. Yes, yes. So realistically, taking it back to that 2 weeks, how it takes 12 days roughly for you to start losing muscle. On the other hand, let's just say you're more of a marathon runner, or your sessions are more based on cardio kind of training. The sad news is, gotta be for real, you have to be serious here. The sad news is you do lose cardio gains quicker than muscle gains. So the volume of oxygen uptake in your body will decrease more drastically than building muscle. So you're gonna have to realistically be doing stuff, even if it's just around the house, that can, I'm giving the bare minimum as a base, because a lot of people may use an excuse not to train, where you should be still exercising and elevating yourself in your health and wealth and fitness, right? So why I'm giving the bare minimum is just for somebody, is a baseline. It's a baseline. So yes, your cardio gains will reduce quicker, which is why you should be doing something that still elevates your VO2 max, so you're still able to utilize that oxygen into your body. So more anaerobic kind of activities, high intensity interval training, sprinting, doing fast explosive movements, burpees, that can still keep those gains, even if it's just doing things like jogging around your neighborhood. Does that make sense? Like I said before, opportunity, you come into play, you attack the opportunity. It's making the best of the situations that you have. Like with me, I always say this, and I'm not always scared to say this, like, I have come from nothing. I have come from nothing, and I believe in life the greatest things come from nothing. It's about utilizing what you have and making the best out of it, because I believe, I always say this, we only have one life, and I'm going to say it, yes, we must continue to live to make history. It's a bigger thing than just saying that. It's a bigger thing. Using all your surroundings and making a better outcome from it. Like, it's a deeper meaning. Like, how bad do you really want this? How bad do you really want this? How much do you really want to elevate yourself? I don't think you want it that bad. How bad do you really want this? Tell me. How bad do you really want this? Because if you really wanted it as bad as you wanted to breathe, someone dripping you underwater, and you're fighting for the air, you will find a way. You will find a way. That's why I'm here to guide you. I'm here to obviously allow you to still elevate yourself in your health and wealth and fitness. So yes, it doesn't matter if you're doing cardio, it doesn't matter if you're doing building muscle, it doesn't matter what your goal is. You need to reverse the theory. So when I mean reverse the theory, let's reverse it back. When you're building muscle, for example, when you are building muscle, what are you doing? Like, people overthink it. When you're building muscle, what tactics are you using to build muscle or gain strength, or whatever your goal is? What tactics are you realistically doing? And you need to ask yourself that question. What tactics are you realistically doing? So now we're in lockdown and things are reversing, you're starting to lose muscle. You need to just reverse that back and use the same tactics that you're using in the gym or wherever you're training at to bring it back to play. But the only difference is that you don't have the general equipment and the stuff that requires you to get where you need to be. So you just change it up. You make your own stuff. You add your own tension. Water bowls. During the last lockdown, I was able to realistically gather a weight of just under 40 kg using just water bottles. And what did I do? Because I wasn't realistically able to add on so much weight like how you do in the gym, I just slowed it down. So the reps were a lot slower, and it was probably just as hard, even harder. Like my muscles were shaking like that. I was like, what is going on? Why are you shaking? Why are you shaking? But realistically, my muscles were literally, after the session, like, it came to the point I was like, oh my god, these home workouts are probably harder than what I'm doing in the gym. Because my muscles were, after the sessions, they were literally, okay, he's here to stay. Do you know what I mean? It's just all about being smarter with it. So I just used water bottles. I didn't have the resistant bands. I didn't have all these technical stuff. But if you look at my physique over the months and months, I used to do body checks every day during lockdown, and nothing really changed. It was the same thing. Over. It's just these little habits that you're implementing into your routine, so you continue to elevate your gains. I honestly feel like this is a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise because it's a way where it takes you from the unknown. It takes you from something that is not guaranteed, and you're not expecting it, and it's forced you to do things you're not going to realistically do, and that's what life is. Life is unexpected, and if life was so easy, I'll ask myself, would I really want to be in this life if it was so easy, if I was to live forever? The whole point of going through it is because you know that these things are not permanent, they're temporary. It's how you utilize yourself in a situation that makes you the better person. My advice for anybody going through this right now, I would say, especially if you don't have much knowledge, is to maintain, and even if you want to do the bare minimum, exercise once or twice a week, maintain. Realistically, I would say, don't overcomplicate yourself. Don't try and do things where you're going to end up hating or putting yourself off training in the long run. You want to do something where you're still able to enjoy what you do. So why don't you start off with the first week or two just maintaining? Like, for example, as in just do 1 or twice a week. If you're serious about this, of course you can do 3, 4, 5 times a week. Whatever your schedule works for you. But realistically, at the start, you want to realistically look to maintain. You want to get that groove of working out in an unknown, different environment. Maybe your home is a lot different. You might be not used to that small environment. Get yourself used to it. I would say maintain, as I was saying, do stuff for time and attention. You want to maintain and mimic the movements that you would usually do at the gym, but make it happen at home with a different environment. I'm telling you, you will continue to elevate yourself. So you want to keep your strength gains. You want to keep whatever goal you have. Mimic what you used to do in the gym, but make it happen at home, right? Mimic what you do in the gym, but make it happen at home. Let's go back to the shoulders, right? You used to do using the barbell to do shoulder presses, right? You don't have that. Use heavy water bottles. You can even use 2 of these. Throw it over your shoulders. Lower the weight down. Slow it down. Add more pauses to it. Do pulse reps using the water bottle as your advantage. So obviously your reps and sets are going to be a bit different from the gym. When I'm training at home, my sets and reps are much different. So gym, I'm focusing, in my head I'm counting, so I'm doing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 reps, 20 reps, whatever I'm counting. At home it's different. I don't really count the reps. I'm focusing more on tension, so I'm more time on attention. So my workouts would be a minute, 45 seconds where I'm holding that tension in place, 10-second rest, go into it again. Do you see the difference? So in the gym I'm focusing more on the numbers, how many reps I'm doing, 4 reps, 5 reps, where I'm at home I'm focusing more on the time itself. I don't remember the last time I count, when I was in lockdown, I didn't remember the last time I actually counted numbers. I was focusing more on attention, so I was literally a minute where I'll be doing like that slow presser, for example, or that slow shoulder press. You're doing it really slowly. You will damage the muscle fibers in a positive way where it will continue to grow bigger, better, stronger, right? So that's just an example. Maintain, use what you have, mimic the movements that you do in the gym, and make it work for you at home. So realistically, if you remember at the start of the video, I was talking about someone that doesn't train, or someone that's inexperienced, and then somebody that does train, someone that's experienced, right? So an inexperienced person, realistically, you will likely to lose more muscle mass quicker than somebody who is more experienced. The reason why I say that, realistically, forget the genetics, forget everything that's put into play, is because someone that's experienced is going to know how to maintain it longer than someone that's inexperienced. Someone that's inexperienced may do the complete opposite. Even if they both kind of knew what they're doing, the experienced person is obviously going to preserve their gains a bit more than an inexperienced person, because someone has a good physique may take years and years and years to develop that physique, where it's going to take some time to obviously to lose that physique, where somebody that's inexperienced, the gains will come off a lot quicker. Think of your body as an art form, right? It's a physique, or it's even, doesn't matter even if you're doing cardio, whatever your goal is, think of your body as an art form, or it's something that you're sculpturing, something that you're making into that high frequency thing that you want, or you're aspiring to have, or you're aspiring to get to. So if you think about it like that, people who have been working on their bodies for a longer time, naturally as well, you will find it takes a longer time for everything just to come off. Take it as it is. Use the situation, as I said, wisely, and make it into something of yourself. Take this lockdown as something, like, I'm not sure if you're going through lockdown again, but if you were about to go through lockdown again, or you've been through lockdown, like I said, we are in lockdown day 2. Take it as something that you can utilize to make the situation better. Nothing in life is permanent. This is temporary. Temporary pain for permanent gains, or that successful goal or vision that you always wanted to acquire. So stick to your goals. Stay up. Stay up. Focus on those goals and move towards them. When there is a will, there always is a way. When there is a will, there always is a way. When there's a will, there always is a way. So you need to keep moving towards that vision, that goal, that aspiration, wherever you want to go towards. Nothing is impossible because it's done. Human beings, us as a human nation, that we find ways to make the impossible possible. And of course, one of the biggest things, love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself, because at the end of the day, you only have you and you. At the end of the day, after a long day, doesn't matter if you're working here, or you're doing this, or you're interacting with people, you come into this world alone, you're going to leave this world alone. So love yourself. Stop being too hard on yourself. Take it down a notch. Take it down. Stop being too hard on yourself. Your human beings are always going to elevate and continue to get better. That's the whole point of being a human being, right? You learn and you adapt and you change. So love yourself. Love yourself the way you are. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't judge yourself too much. We all come from something, a journey, or on that journey. So stick to it, love yourself, and of course, continue to aspire, continue to elevate yourself, continue to learn, grow, and of course, to make history for yourself. As I stated previously, if you're going through a lockdown, or you're in a lockdown, you're not alone. You are not alone. We are all on this together. We're all on this journey together. We're all on this together. Nothing is set in place forever, so just keep elevating yourself and keep pushing yourself. Like I always said, love yourself. Why? Because we only have one life. We must live to make history. We have one life. Honestly, we have one life. So keep pushing, keep striving. Lockdown or no lockdown, when there's a will, there is a way. We will make history. Let's go. Let's go. We will make history. One life.